Hello, everybody, and what's happening? My name is Sonja Marie with Wordlife Astrology here on this gorgeous God-given Monday. It's November 4th, 2024. Here to give you an astrological outlook and what's happening this week transitly. That means whatever sign you are welcome. Please pull up a chair, get something to drink, some tea or something, maybe a piece of paper and a pad because you might want to take some notes. There's some information that I want to share with you, so get comfy. And I pray that this resonates in some kind of way. If it does, share it with your people. Like, comment, say some things below the description box. And let's get a conversation going, okay? I appreciate that there. You ready? You ready? Before we get started, I want to remind you that I do individual readings, 60-minute readings, as well as 90-minute readings. Within my 90-minute readings, it's like a 3-tier situation. I have the ability to speak to ancestors and guides and see your folks on the other side. That's the first thing. The second thing, we go into your natal chart based on time and date and place of birth. If you don't have your time, no worries at all. Some people do not have their time, so you're not the only one, but you can still get a reading. And in the third part, we go into a 5-card tarot spread. So hit me up at wordlifeastrology.com/readings if you'd like to partake. All right, let's get on into the week. Now, before we get really into the day by day and the play by play of this particular week, I want to remind you that Mars went into Leo yesterday. That's a big deal because for the next, I'm going to say 7 to 8 months, Mars is going to be straddling 2 signs, Leo and Cancer. That's a long time for Mars to be in 2 particular signs, because usually Mars is in one sign for about 6 to 8 weeks and then goes and transfers to another vibration. Again, what's so important about this, and which I explained on Instagram, so forgive me if you heard me say this, what's important about this is that Mars operates our ability to move, to be motivated, to incite anger, war, to problem solve on some type of level, but also to confront situations, to start, to be motivated, to be devoted and follow through on something, to initiate projects and things of that nature. Mars is pretty integral when it comes to us doing a thing, when it comes to us achieving something, because we need movement. And sometimes we can be a little hard on ourselves when we feel we're not doing enough, or sometimes we do way too much and we need to pull back. So it's really important to know where Mars is at any given time. So when Mars is in the vibration of Leo, we feel courageous, willful. And again, it doesn't matter what sun sign you are. It doesn't even matter what sign your Mars is in. Everybody is inundated with this energy I'm about to explain to you. Mars being in Leo has us acting a very courageous and willful, optimistic, I'm gonna get it done type of lion type of way. You dig? Mars in Leo loves competition. Mars in Leo loves sports. Mars in Leo loves to just break down walls, again, with devotion and showing up. And when I say break down walls, Leo energy shows up regardless. It keeps its word. It's a fixed sign like that. It's rooted in what it believes in, okay? Now, the thing about it going back into Cancer, and I'm going to show you the vibration and or the rhythm in a minute. When it goes back into Cancer, it goes back into a more watery, passive sign of emotionality. So our movements, our motivation will be built on, again, emotions and what we feel like doing versus what we don't feel like doing. It could be emotional manipulation. It can be also being motivated to care for people, to care for family, to care for real estate, to care for your home, having to move out of your home, having to take care of your home, you understand, or people in your home. Mars in Cancer looks quite different than Mars in Leo. Now, understand this rhythm, and I'm going to take you through it with my finger, okay? That's why this is so important. Right now, Mars is in Leo. Remember, it went into Leo yesterday. Let's just say it's going direct in this direction, right? As it goes direct in Leo, it hits December 16th. December 6th. It hits December 6th. When December 6th comes up, Mars goes retrograde. It goes back into these degrees of Leo until we get to January 17th. January 17th is still going retro. As it's going retro, it backs back up into Cancer. So we switch from the vibration of Leo to the vibration of Cancer. It goes retrograde all the way to February 25th. On February 25th, it goes direct again. As it goes direct, it has to travel back through Cancer until it gets to Leo again on April 19th. April 19th, it's in Leo. It keeps moving forward until June 18th, and it turns into Virgo. Are you tired? And if you need to take any notes, now's the time to pause, and then we'll come right back. Go ahead, you can go do that thing. Now that we're back, do you understand how incredibly important it is to know how we are being affected, how war is being affected, how movements are being affected, how starting and stopping projects and businesses are being affected by the act of Mars? When it's in Leo, we'll be hell-bent, fiery, stubborn, fixed, assured, confident, competitive on some level, and very opportunistic. Don't get it twisted. When Mars is in Leo, it absolutely does not care too much about its opponents, not even its team members for that sure. Although it's really devoted on some level. You know, when Mars gets into Leo, Leo finds an opportunity to do something, it will bypass anybody and everybody to make sure it gets what it wants. Don't be twisted. But then when it goes retro and it slows down its movement of competition and its energy in that Leo, it's going to pop back into Cancer, which is going to change the whole vibration. Now we are being motivated as a collective by maternal instincts and emotionality and affection, and again, doing the things that we feel like. Do you see how important it is to know the vibration of this motivation going backwards and forwards, and how it affects you? You have to know what squares Leo, right? These signs of Scorpio and Taurus. You have to know what squares Cancer, Aries, and Libra. So if you are those signs or have any planets in those signs, those parts of your personality is going to be affected by Mars going back and forth in these two signs, causing anger and or rightful motivation. You choose. Anger is the negative part of the manifestation, Mars, right? Because we don't want to be angry all the time. Anger is good to push through and then get something done. But sometimes when it's squared up against something, it wants to stay in that anger. Or we choose to be motivated and bypass certain things and understand the energy of the day, be it in Leo and Cancer, and deal with it. Move around it. Understand it, confront it in a healthy way. That's why I'm sharing this information with y'all. I'm doing my best to set you up to win. Okay? That's a lot of info. Prayerfully, it helps and lands somewhere, but go ahead and do some more research on that thing and this worldwide weird webby thingy. And help, again, to set yourself up. It's time to motivate, but we got to do it in a smart way, you dig? In a very informed way. It's time. So let's go on to the week. We start here on Monday, November 4th. That's right. And the moon is in Sagittarius. Love when the moon is in Sag because things move fast. We want to get things done. We want to see the bigger picture. That's a beautiful thing. We also like to dismiss some things that might be important and we put on the back burner. So be careful of that. If things are important to do today, you might as well just take a little nip at it, address it, have some conversation around it. Don't ignore it and put it on the back burner for it to come back and bite you later. I'm just saying, when the moon is in Sag, you can definitely call on that. But I want you to know, as the moon is in Sag today, one aspect, please be very, very mindful of. It will square Saturn. Again, Saturn is in Pisces. I've been talking about it for some time now, and I love it. I put down a little note in regards to the moon squaring Saturn. Manage your emotions, and please try not to dismiss your emotions because you don't want to face discipline. Don't dismiss your emotions because you have a lack of respect for discipline today, okay? That Saturn in Pisces has been holding us down, whether you like it or not, boo-boos. Again, it's been reminding you to pray. It's been reminding you to be forgiving. It's been reminding you to give yourself and everybody else grace. That's the discipline and the rituals it's been calling on for you to do on a daily basis. So to forget that today in some weird emotional faux and you're saying to yourself, oh, I don't need to do that. It'll be all right. You may miss your line of light. You may miss the information coming into that third eye. You must miss the fact, you may miss the juicy information that you get out of a meditation that you are thinking about dismissing today. Don't do that. If you can't do it for an hour, at least for 15 minutes, spiritual disciplines on point. We need it, especially to set us up for the rest of this week and the emotionality that is coming for us, okay? Also today, the sun can help us, but the sun being in Scorpio, it will trine Saturn. So if the moon, the emotions, karmic information coming back up to get us wants us to dismiss some things, we got to go a little deeper. We got to go a little deeper to what the ego wants. We got to go a little bit deeper to where our vulnerable spaces want. There's our vulnerable spaces, our inner knowing, know that we need to stay with our disciplines, Saturn. That's the real question. When your emotions think about dismissing your discipline today here on Monday, what is your true self saying? How are you going to get yourself up out of this? Meaning that how are you going to face yourself at the end of the night when you dismissed some of the things you knew you were supposed to do for your soul? For your soul. For your soul. That's a real question. So do yourself a favor and don't bypass that, all right? Just a nice little warning. Cuidado. On Tuesday, the moon will stay in Sagittarius until about 10:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then the moon is going to go into Capricorn. But before the moon goes into Capricorn and becomes a serious day for election day, with the moon in Capricorn, that moon will square Neptune. That's a big deal. And I was talking about that on Instagram just now. It's a day of smoke and mirrors. Did you expect anything else? Neptune deals with delusion and confusion. I like to say, and Neptune also deals with escapism and drugs and alcoholism. Neptune deals with fantasy and idealism. Deals with spirituality as well. The ability to see, psychic energy, being highly intuitive, music and art. I like to say Neptune deals with anything that's anything we can feel but we can't touch. I love saying that, right? Meaning that anything that's tangible, that's not Neptune's bag. Neptune feels from the inside out. It's like a sense, like a spiritual sensing of things. That's where the smoke and the mirrors come. Because if you are not connected with your intuition and what your ancestors and your guides and what your inner knowing is saying, Neptune will throw up a gosh darn force field of smoke. And with it being squared, Neptune being squared by the emotions on Tuesday, that means emotional upbringings, and we are all going to be some type of emotion. Whether we decide to happily dance and have a party and throw some music on and try to block out and or assimilate to what's happening that day, that's an emotion, dance and celebration. Or we decide to sit back and drink wine and watch this dude hopefully not win, that's an emotion. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever emotion you take on, please don't let it incite any smoke and mirrors. Stay very clear about what you feel and allow your feeling to connect with your inner knowing, to tell you what to do next, to tell you where to go next, to tell you how to feel next. Don't allow the confusion and more emotion to heighten the confusion and more emotion, heighten the confusion, more emotion. And before you know it, you look like Pigpen standing there in a dust of what? What's going on? Who's who? I don't know. Who's the best? Maybe she is. Maybe he is. I mean, maybe nobody is. But at the end of the day, you got to vote. And at the end of the day, we know what's real. Look for what's real on Tuesday, okay? Watch out for the smoke and mirrors. On Wednesday, like I said, the moon will be in Capricorn. I do love when the moon is in Capricorn. Things get a little bit serious and we get some things done. So hopefully the next day we can find ways of getting things done. And staying ambitious, regardless of any results, regardless of what you may feel, regardless of any friends or any colleagues or any business partners that you may lose or gain. Please stand firm to your ideals. Moon in Capricorn is stay firm to your traditions. Stay firm to your structure. Stay firm to how you believe in your morals. Stay firm to what you understand to be true for yourself and how they are building blocks for your life. That's what the moon in Capricorn says. It doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. How are you going to continue walking up the mountain? That's for sure. The moon in Capricorn is about leading you up the mountain to higher ideals. Stay with that on the forefront of your mind, regardless of what happens. Don't let nobody take you up your square, okay? With that in mind, two wonderful aspects are happening on that day that can help you stay firm. The moon will sextile to the sun. That's an awesome thing. Why? Because the moon and the sun coming together is balancing your emotions with your core. It's balancing wisdom, the core you, with your expression. So we need to be on one accord in some way. And by the way, with the sun being in Scorpio and the moon being in Capricorn, they are very, very controlling. They're the two most controlling signs of the zodiac. So if there's somebody or something you need to control on Wednesday, make sure it's you and not anybody else. And make sure you stay out of judgment, okay? And judge yourself in your position and where you are in the moment, okay? Please and very please mind your business on Wednesday. And I say that with love, only because there'll be so many opinions and ideals and information that's being thrown out there. It's very, very easy to get caught up in a tumbleweed of thoughts and conversations. And then at the end of the day, who's saying what to say what and what's the point? You know your point by staying in control of yourself and by managing you. You understand? I hope y'all get that. I'm very, 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 very serious about that thing, as you can tell there. The moon will also be sextiling Saturn, which is in Pisces. So there's the discipline. Not only will you be connected with your moral standpoint, your inner knowing, the moon sextiling the sun, but you will also be connected to, again, that grandpa. Saturn is the grandpa. Saturn cracks the whip, y'all. Saturn makes us, again, stay in discipline, but also makes us continue to do the work, to take the steps, regardless of the atmosphere. I'm staying in alignment with what's going on this week. Okay? So regardless of the atmosphere, we stay firm in who we are, standing strong with Saturn right beside us. You know, Saturn is like the grandpa. Saturn is the dad figure of the zodiac, whereas Cancer is the mother, right? So if dad says, look, I need you to be firm up. With the moon sextiling that, firm your emotions up so you can stand up. And regardless of who stands by you or who passes by you, you have your own ideals. Remember that. On Thursday, the moon stays in Capricorn, but it will go into Aquarius by the end of the day, about 6:00 p.m. that night, right? The one thing I want to talk about Thursday, though, has nothing to do with the moon. It has everything to do with Venus, quincunxing, Uranus. I put down here in my notes, value and worth needs to change, and there's visible trepidation for doing it. The thing about Venus being hit up in a weird and frustrating way by Uranus is saying, I need you to change up your value system. And a lot of us may not want to. Maybe whoever wins will dictate the value system. Maybe your own feelings about whoever wins, or your own feelings about the country now, or your own feelings about your own self-worth, regardless of what happens politically. Maybe you need to switch some things about that, and you don't feel good about that. There's a little frustration about that. In any way, any subject matter, anytime throughout this week, to be truthful with you, because Venus, quincunxing, Uranus can last a couple of days. Check yourself on that, okay? And know that no one is trying to purposely throw you off your square. It's an irritation. Quincunx is like a little gnat that flies around your ear. You know what I mean? It just keeps you busy, but wants to throw you off and wants to distract you. Don't let it distract you. Again, what you value is what you value. What your square is worth is what your square is worth. It doesn't matter. And if there's need for it to change and alter it, do so by being smart, but do so mainly by staying connected to Neptune, staying connected to spirit, staying connected to your own voices and forces that have always led you and has never let you down. That's your inner voice. That's your ancestors. That's your folks pushing you, because there will be a lot of outside noise this week. Just holding y'all firm. Come on, let's do it. Firm it up. On Friday, like I said, that moon is going to be in Aquarius. And when it goes into Aquarius, it's going to sextile Mercury. Yep, because Mercury is in Sag. Time to put independent energy into your thinking when it comes to the bigger picture. So here we go. If you stand firm, firming on your firm, look at the rhythm of this thing. The next day is saying, take those ideas, Mercury, those conversations, Mercury, who you need to talk to, what you need to what you need to research, what you need to resource, right? Take those things and put an independent spin on it. Know that there's a lot of people that may not agree. Know that there's a lot of people that may call you cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and think you're weird. But this is the idea of the age of Aquarius. If the moon is in Aquarius, we can get a little spark from the age of Aquarius in that moment to say, yo, my ideas are going to be dope because I see a bigger picture. Mercury and Sag. I see where we're going. I see the future. I see the possibility. So I'm going to take these weird ideas and just go for them while I'm standing firm in who I am and what I believe in. And that's me. On Saturday, the moon stays in Aquarius up until about 11 p.m. that night. So most of the day, the moon will be in Aquarius, feeling independent, getting with your friends, getting with some groups. It'll be a good day to do that on Saturday. By the end of the day, it'll go into Pisces. So we'll go to bed feeling nice and relaxed, right? The one thing I want to talk about on that day is Venus again getting hit up. It's going to square Neptune. Venus squaring Neptune again is the second hit this week about our values, about who we trust, about love. Venus is love. Venus is money. Is somebody threatening your money? As it squares Neptune, is there some confusion around how much you're worth, about how much they're going to pay you? Is there some confusion about your wardrobe and how you look? Is there some confusion that somebody put a box cut on your fade instead of rounding it out? Because Venus deals with beauty, y'all, right? So was there some confusion in that? Did they not hear you properly? With it connected, Venus, connected to Neptune, you got to kind of check people. Check yourself for that matter and make sure you're clear on that day. Make sure you do almost everything, especially around money, especially around abundance and love, because you don't want to hurt nobody. Do everything with prayer. A quick little prayer always helps as you walking into a meeting. God, send me light. God, put light all around my body and allow this to happen in the best way for everybody involved for their highest good. Amen, ashe, amen. Hey, y'all, how you doing? It's as quick as that. Neptune likes prayer. It abolishes and abandons and all the A-B words. It gets it away, all the cobwebs, all the confusion, and allows the light of God to come on through and allows it to communicate to you and tell you what to do from the inside out. You get that? Come on now, that's Saturday. Your worth is your worth. Believe it. Don't let anybody convince you differently, okay? And get that money. On Sunday, last day, the moon goes into Pisces. Yep. It's in Pisces. We wake up with it in Pisces, basically, and it's a watery, emotional, floating kind of day. Utilize it. Restore yourself on that day. Please, in the best way possible, stay in meditation if you can, through walking slowly, listening to good music, cleaning the house, just being easy on yourself. Please and very please, doing your best to filter the week out. Through your mind, through your psychic eye, take baths, wash it away. Because a lot of what you picked up until that day is probably not even yours, honey. I'm going to be the first to tell you in this moment in time. This week, we're going to walk through a sea of emotions all day, every day. We do it normally, but can you understand how heightened it's going to be? Things that are going to be said and things that are going to be unsaid. And we're walking through it, cutting through it. So on Sunday, when that moon goes into Pisces, yes, it's a good time to wash things away. It's a good time to sit in the water because we are being inundated by water. So take your time with that. And if that's not enough, the moon in Pisces will conjunct Saturn in Pisces, the discipline. So that's my discipline homework assignment for y'all. Take a bath on Sunday or get near some water, okay? Utilize the discipline of Saturn to bring you back to one, to equalize you. You dig what I'm saying? And allow you floating in a healthy, harmonious way as opposed to feeling like you're swimming upstream. We don't need to swim against the flow and against the river and up like salmon. Salmon know when they go upstream, they about to get eaten. Y'all want to get eaten? Just go with it. Just go with it on Sunday for sure. All right, y'all ready to pull a card? Because I am. Let's go. There are so many ways in which you can take this one particular card. I pray whatever way you take it, it resonates deeply within you. It is a big picture type of description, but you'll find a use for it, I'm sure. Remember, we are all part of God's existence. This naked figure sits on the lotus leaf of perfection, gazing at the beauty of the night sky. She knows that home is not a physical place in the outside world, but an inner quality of relaxation and acceptance. The stars, the rocks, the trees, the flowers, the fish, and the birds are all her brothers and sisters in this dance of life. We human beings tend to forget this as we pursue our own private agendas and believe we must fight to get what we need. But ultimately, our sense of separateness is just an illusion, manufactured by the now preoccupations of the mind. Now is the time to look at whether you are allowing yourself to receive the extraordinary gift of feeling at home wherever you are. If you are, be sure to take time to savor it as it can deepen and remain with you. If, on the other hand, you've been feeling like the world is out to get you, it's time to take a break. Go outside tonight and take a look at the stars. Ashe. We are one, y'all. Deja and I talked about that this week at Agape. Yesterday, we performed our song, The One. Please check it out on agapelive.com if you'd like. It absolutely resonates with this particular message and statement. And by the way, thank you, Deja and Agape, for that opportunity. I appreciate you. We are one. We are one. We are one. Don't you know that? They try to separate us with this politics. They try to separate us with class. They try to separate us with economic status. They try to separate us with race. They try to separate us, but we are one. And the more we know that, the more we resonate with that, the more powerful we are, and the more that other force begins to lose. Trust that. Know that. Start, please, demolishing these walls that we put around ourselves. The big and the small ones, okay? Because we all feeling it. We all going through it. It doesn't matter. That's it. We are one. Please remember that. As we walk through this week, as we lay our head to sleep, remember who you are, okay? God's child, always. Together coming through this, together leaving out of this. One. All right, that's enough. Did I say it enough? Go get the song, The One, by Deja Gomez and Sonja Marie. Just go get it. And I can tell you again and again. Take care of yourself, all right? Take care of your steps. And I'll see you next week. Share this information if you feel it's good. Adios.